What's up and welcome to the channel. In this episode we're going to be working on my GTR, so make sure you stick around for that. And don't forget to like this video, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. Let's get to it. What we're going to start this video off with is getting the sound deadening material out of the car. Now there's a few different ways to achieve this. We're going to keep trying ways until we figure out which way works the best. So we're taking out the sound deadening in this car. It's basically this stuff right here. And the reason why I'm taking it out is because where it got hot, it dried it out and cracked it up, and it just looked really bad. And sandblasting will not take this out. So I've got to get all of this stuff that's damaged out of the car, and I've tried a couple different ways to do that. Now I tried just using a little pry bar and scraping it off, and that came out. It worked okay. I tried a little putty knife, even with a hammer, and chiseled it out, and that worked okay. Also tried the DeWalt with the wire wheel, and it worked okay. All of those things worked okay. They were just slow going. So the last thing I tried is a propane torch. I just heated it up, and using this putty scraper, it scraped right out really fast and really easy. The only drawback to doing it that way is it leaves a residue, a sticky residue on the panel, which in my case, since the car is going to go to sandblasting, the sandblasting will take out that residue no problem. But if you were taking this stuff out of a car that was not going to go to a blaster, there is one other option that I haven't tried yet on this car, and that's dry ice. And the reason why I haven't tried it is because I don't keep dry ice here in the shop. I would have to go get some. But you can set dry ice on the sound deadening materials and let it sit for a minute, and basically it freezes it, and it makes it really brittle, and it makes it come up very easily, and it doesn't leave a residue. So that would be the option I would be using if I wasn't going to the sandblaster with this car. So let's get back to work and get the rest of this sound deadening out. Alright, so the sound deadening back here must be different than the stuff in the front, because when I heat this stuff, it gets really gooey, and it's just kind of scraping off like tar. I think I want to try the wire wheel on this and see how well it does. If that doesn't work, we will have to get some of that dry ice and see how well it does. So the next step is I want to get this roof skin off. And this roof skin is kind of warped up, and if I take the skin off, it'll make it easier for the blaster to be able to get down in there and get everything blasted, all in the cavities and everything. And I've also come to the conclusion that I think I want to go ahead and put a carbon roof skin on this thing. So let's get this roof skin off. We'll start by taking the wire wheel and cleaning off the perimeter of this roof skin, exposing all the spot welds that I need to cut, and also getting all this damaged seam sealer and this burnt stuff off all around the edges. So I went ahead and knocked off the windshield urethane because the sandblaster will not take that off, and all that's got to come off to get the new glass put in. And I'm going to have to change my wire wheel to get down in this groove. We'll change it from this cup style wire wheel to just this wire wheel here so I can get down in the groove. So now I can see all the spot welds. They're not covered up by seam sealer anymore. All right, so this is a good stopping point for tonight. It's getting kind of late. We're going to come back in the morning. It's supposed to be a nice day, nice warm day and sunny, no rain. So we'll roll this thing outside and I'll get the roof cut off this thing. In the meantime, I'm just going to get cleaned up and head to the house. We'll see you in the morning. All right, as promised, we got this thing outside. The sun is out. It's a nice day, no rain. Let's see if we can get this roof skin cut off. What we're going to do is we're going to take this thick cutoff wheel and see where the spot welds are. We're going to grind down the sheet metal around the spot weld, do all of these spot welds all the way around this roof skin, and we should be able to peel this thing right off. Now I'm going to take this hammer and this chisel, and I'm going to work my way around this thing, see if I can get this roof skin the rest of the way off. So as you can see here, a little bit of the spot weld left. As I was chiseling it, it's starting to tear. So I'm going to clean this up with the grinder a little bit more, and it should come right off. Alright, so I got this roof skin off. I'm going to go over this thing one more time, make sure there's nothing else I need to do before it goes to the blaster, and then we're going to take this thing to media blasting. I went over a couple more spots of the car with the wire wheel, and I got all the clips out, I think, and I think I have everything off of the car that needs to be off the car to go to media blasting. So the only thing left for us to do now is get it loaded up on the trailer, get this thing taken over to media blasting. Got this thing loaded up on the trailer. Let's get it over to media blasting. Getting pretty excited. This thing should look 100 times better once I get it back from media blasting. So I just dropped off the GTR over at Pro Cryo, which is the media blasting place. And they're not able to start on it immediately, but Jason over there said he was going to give me a call when they're ready to blast it. That way I can try to get over there and get some footage of the blasting process for you guys. In the meantime, let's see if we can figure out what our wheel situation is. So these are the wheels that were on the car when I purchased it. Now this wheel was on the right front, and it's a stock wheel that's been curb rashed really bad. I'm pretty sure they just put it on there to make it a roller. For some reason, the other wheel was either damaged or it's missing for whatever reason. Now, these three wheels are made by Advan Racing. I think that's how you pronounce it. And to me, it's a good-looking wheel. I like the wheel a lot. I'm not in love with the color so much, but I like the wheel. And it would be way less expensive for me to have to just buy one wheel as opposed to buying 4 new wheels for the car. So what I need to do is get these cleaned up. I'm just going to wash them with some soap and water, give them a visual inspection, and if they pass the visual inspection, then I'll take the wheels down to the local wheel and tire shop, have them spin them up on their balancer to see if the wheels are bent. And if they're not bent, I can just buy one wheel and have a complete set. So let's give these things a bath and look them over. After seeing this color all cleaned up, it's kind of growing on me. It looks pretty good when it's clean. We're going to set these tires up in the bed of my truck, and I'm going to look them over really well. And if they pass the visual inspection, like I said, we're going to haul these things over to the wheel and tire shop and let them spin them on their balancer. So what I'm looking for on the visual inspection, taking this rag and just kind of wiping everything down, going over all the surfaces that I can see to see if there's any cracks in the aluminum or cracks in the coating. And I don't really see any in any of the wheels. I'm also, since this car was on fire, I'm looking for any spots that might have got hot. This wheel here has a spot on the inside. Let me show you. Right here it has some smoke damage that the soap and water didn't take off. And it has this stuff on the wheel. It's like plastic. And I believe it's from a melted splash shield that kind of dripped onto the tire and wheel here. And it kind of stuck to the wheel. But I don't think there's any damage as far as heat damage to this wheel. So let's get these things over to the tire shop and get them spun up and see if they're bent. We're back from the wheel shop, and my wheel's all spun up true, which is great news, because all I have to do now is buy a wheel, and I have a complete set. So, let's find a wheel. Oof, 1,100 bucks? I'm glad I only have to buy one of these.
Never eat dry cake again. Do as I do. Eat it all the first sitting.
Alright, so that's going to be about it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, hit that like button and share it with your friends. If you're new to the channel, and this is the first time you're ever seeing me, consider subscribing and turning on the bell notification. That way you won't miss any future content. If you have any thoughts or questions, you can leave it in the comment section down below. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. See ya!